What is going on, everyone? It's time to flip the page. It is. It's time to turn the page over. The last two Eagles videos, Sunday night after the game and yesterday morning, I broke down how disappointed and underwhelmed I was with the offense. All right, I get it. Against the Jets, they weren't as smooth as I thought they would be. Okay, let's move on. I'm not going to dwell on it. I've seen this team be successful with this offense, without Deshaun Jackson specifically. I've seen them do well. I've seen them go into Green Bay and win. So why can't they go into Minnesota and win? We absolutely can. An interesting stat, though, that I saw by Reuben Frank, in the last 3 games, we haven't had a catch, a ball thrown over 20 yards. That's the first time that has happened in 3 consecutive games of not doing that since 2000. That's telling you a lot. We do not have a deep threat. So we got to find a way. Doug Peterson has to put together a game plan that will be successful without a deep threat. We just don't have anyone that can spread the field. And you think about it, Deshaun Jackson still lingering with that injury, not going with the surgery. So they have their eyes set on potentially Dallas. I just can't put my full emotion into it because I don't know how long it's really going to be. And before we dive into this a little bit deeper, we all know free money. I can give you free money. Use the promo code BROADS for $20 off of your total purchase. But there is a second thing I need to tell you. I am in the process right now of allowing people to win Sports Talk with Broads apparel. The 10,000 subscriber giveaway ends on Saturday. The link is in the description. After this video, go check out how you can win. But all right, let's talk about this. And then let's move on. Let's move on from the Jets, pretty much is what this comes down to. It's a possibility that Doug Peterson wanted to stay vanilla, not wanted to put anything on tape because the game was already blown up. So why would you put anything on tape for another team to look at when you have certain plays that can work against them later in the year? Sure, if you want to go with that mindset, go with that mindset. I don't know if I'm buying into it to that degree, but hey, just think about it from a professional athlete's perspective. You're beaten down on this team. You can sense that the other squad has nothing in the tank. They don't even want to be out there on the floor. It's hard to really get in that mental state where I need to make this play happen. I need to do this. And the offense kind of stalled a little bit. Whatever it is, what it is. I think they can still win in Minnesota, and I think they can still be fine moving forward. I was just disappointed with what I saw on Sunday. So, I don't want to go too deep into X's and O's, right? But you take a look at what this defense can do in terms of Minnesota's defense. They're not horrendous. They're not the Chicago Bears D either, but they're not horrendous. This offense should be able to execute, and one of the things you heard Doug Peterson talk about is the running game, and specifically Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard has found a way to prove himself, and it realistically looks like this guy's going to be the lead back. This guy's going to be the dog. Now, I believe Miles Sanders should be thrown in there for wheel routes like we saw against the Jets where they put a defensive end on him to try and cover him. Yeah, no way in hell would that work, but you can still use that change of pace back, and it's not like Jordan Howard's going to get every single touch ever, but it seems like Doug Peterson has found a way to utilize Jordan Howard as the main guy, if you will. And it's funny because we were calling for him forever, and then we all claim, listen, there's got to be a reason why he's not playing. They must see something in practice, and it must have pissed Jordan Howard off so much that when he got the ball, he was ready to fly. He was determined to go. He was hitting the gap smoothly. And he put his head down and gained yards, and that's what he has to do. That's his role. So that defense, they're not bad. They're not elite either. We should be able to move the football. We're going to have to find ways to create some sort of space. You look at the wide receiving core, the core we thought was going to be so lethal, they're really not. All right, Nelson Aguilar is a bum. Matt Collins is your 4th wide receiver. That's what he is. I can't expect a 4th, 5th type of wide receiver to be this ultimate beast because there's a reason why they're your 4th and 5th wide receiver. He does need to step up at times, but you have them, and you have Alshon Jeffrey. We're going to have to utilize the run game, Alshon Jeffrey, Ertz, and Goddard, because I can't rely on Nelson Aguilar. I can't rely on Matt Collins to be these game changers, but we're going to have to find a way, and Doug Peterson is going to have to do that. It comes down to our defense, though, and Kirk Cousins isn't this elite guy, right? He's just not an elite guy, and he doesn't show up in big games, bigger games, but we don't know what Orlando Scandrick is going to be against this team because they're not the Jets. They do have Diggs and Thielen and players of that nature. They do have Dalvin Cook, but we are so good at stopping the run. I don't know how much of a factor Dalvin Cook will be because we are horrendous at the passing game with our defense. I would expect their head coach to realize that, but he is stubborn, and if he believes the run game is their motor, he might try and pound the rock a million times and not even abuse our passing game, which is the right thing to do. You got to trust Kirk Cousins to be able to beat Orlando Scandrick and whatnot, but Sidney Jones appears to be back, and Rasul Douglas appears to be, well, he was always here, but appears to be on the other side, so it comes down to how we are going to stop their weapons, because they have weapons in the pass game. We do have the redemption factor at this point because they beat us the last time. If we beat them the last two, I'd say, ooh, this is a little concerning because the redemption factor is real in football. But this is a game where I think we can really find a way. How about this, though? Last night I'm watching that Monday Night Football game, and I'm sure everyone saw this on Twitter. It's the 2017 running back class. Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon, Kareem Hunt, James Conner, Tariq Cohen, Marlon Mack, Aaron Jones, Chris Carson. Undrafted, Eckler, Breida. You know who the Eagles picked that year? Granted, 2017 was a special year for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know who we drafted that year? Pumphrey. Come on. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing to look at that and say, we drafted Pumphrey. That stuff can't happen. I'm sorry, that stuff just cannot happen. The moral of the story here, though, outside of that running back thing, is it's time to move on from what happened with the Jets game. It was so embarrassing of a game. You're going up against a team that has nothing to give. It's hard to take a lot away from it. I don't know what to expect from our defensive front. I expect a little bit of a confidence change because of how it all played down. But let's talk about Derek Barnett. This guy is weak mentally. I don't know what he's doing. I even saw an article saying, is he the next Burfict? Now, Burfict is on another level, old school type player, clearly has been suspended here for the rest of the season, and he's been suspended throughout his career. I don't think Derek Barnett is determined to be this dirty player, but he makes some silly mistakes that cost his team, that are just dumb. And then Jim Schwartz is even calling him out. Derek Barnett needs to get his head together because this kid has to be a player for us this year or we're going to be screwed. We need him to step up. We need him to get to the quarterback. And let's be real, he's been underwhelming for us so far this season. He hasn't been special enough for me to give him a check mark in terms of he's done a great job so far. What is Derek Barnett? Before the injury, I was super pumped with him. I thought he was great. He had that nice year, decent year. I haven't been loving what I'm seeing from him, and more from a mental side of the game. He's doing stupid things, taking guys' legs out. The hit against Atlanta, definitely late. And I supported him then, not supported the hit, but I said, listen, this guy's not known to do this. He's not this guy who has all these penalties and he crushes people late all the time. No, but then he does something dumb against the Jets again, and then I say, maybe is he losing it a little bit? Is he not playing smart enough? Well, I know he's not playing smart enough, but why isn't he playing smart enough? Just something to think about. But I think the D pressure is getting better. Took a couple games to warm up. We even rushed Aaron Rodgers out of the pocket as well. The problem is Aaron Rodgers makes things happen. He does, he does magic. Once he's out of the pocket, that's realistically where he wants to be at times, which is crazy to even say. And, we beat up that Jets offensive line, so maybe they just found a little bit of rhythm, but we'll see how it all plays out. I just want to turn the page. I want to flip the page. You know how some games are so bad, you throw it away in the garbage? And I know that we did that on the short week. Doug Peterson did that on the short week, which I thought was the wrong time to do it, but we went in and won in Green Bay anyway. To an extent, this is the throw up the tape because you can't really take anything away from how bad it really was. Your talent, that is. Your talent you're going up against. I don't know if I would necessarily throw all of it away because I would want the offense to watch film and realize some of the mistakes that they made because there were mistakes there, so I don't want to go to that degree and throw it all away. but just don't put too much stock into it, and let's figure it the hell out for this Sunday, because it's going to be a battle. You know how much Minnesota hates us right now because of the NFC Championship game. There is a rivalry there, so you just got to keep that in mind and be prepared. I think this team's mentality is going to be different heading into this game. That's why I assume the offense is going to be clicking at a different level, because it's a different mentality when you're facing an opponent that actually understands how football is being played. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.